I can admit my own fault. And my only fault is I don't realize how great I really am.
Where my champions at? Where my champions? Dim the lights just to recreate the ambience. I'm about to murder the stage, call an ambulance. Moment of silence, my condolences. I'm going crazy, I don't think that I can hold it in. I pray to God to forgive me.
Today's episode was brought to you by the Comfort Experts. See us for all your heating and air conditioning needs. For more information, visit onehouraircarolinas.com. That's onehouraircarolinas.com.
Gen Y, Gen X, Millennials, Generation Me, Generation Internet. You know who you are. You've been crushed, hit hard by this economy.
So if you're dealing with college debt, maybe you're even trying to move out of your parents' house or start a new business. Look, the only way you're going to be able to do that is to be able to produce and to get people to pay you what you're worth.
I'm fighting for your generation. I'm not counting you out. I believe in you. We're here to give young hustlers the advice and tools they need to succeed in the 21st century.
What's going on? What's going on, man? It's Thursday, noon, East Coast Standard Time, which means this is Young Hustlers, man. My name is Jarrod Glandt, at Jarrod Glandt on Twitter, on Periscope in the mornings. You can catch me there. Dude, if you tuning in now, you are, 7 days through? 7 days through 2016, man. Did you lose track of your targets yet? Did you lose track of your goals? Did you lose track of what was important and why you were working so hard this year? Have you lost it yet? I hope not, because I'm going to give you some tips on what you can do to make sure that you freaking dominate 2016. And there is a formula, there is a plan, and I'm going to give it to you today. But first, I just got to talk about what's happening over here, what's happening in Cardone land. So, Grant's getting the finishing touches put on the Obsessed book. I have the manuscript and was reading through it last night, and it is like fire. If you guys thought 10X Rule was a wake-up call, dude, wait until you read Obsessed, man. It is going to light you up. Second thing, CardoneUniversity.com. We have a special going on right now, CardoneU.com. It's a $13,000 program we have on sale for $995. And the reason I'm telling you that now in the beginning is because the success stories that we've had from the people that are using it have been unreal. Literally people that were, they pay $1,000 for it on Monday, and by Thursday, they've 3x'd their investment on it. Unbelievable. Got to check it out. But Luke, I'm here to talk to you today about 2016, man. I'm here to talk about 2016 and what you can do to maximize the year, your money, your happiness, everything that you want to get out of the year. And I was going through before the show, and I was trying to find some inspiration, man, some inspiration for what I wanted to talk about. And it seemed like everything that I searched about millennials right now and really just the year, what people are focused on, it's goals and targets. Before I get into this, though, I just want to let you know, if you want to call in, I want to hear your goals, man. I want to hear how big and crazy and ridiculous your goals and your targets are. Or if you have any questions, feel free to call 305-865-8668. That's 305-865-8668. We'll get you on the Young Hustlers hotline so that you can talk to JG today. Okay, so dude, I'm talking about goals. Today specifically, I'm talking about what you can do to freaking dominate in 2016. And I came across an article that a gal wrote about 10 steps to achieving the life that you want in 2016. And I think that there's some merit to some of this stuff in here. Number one was review your 2015. I don't know what I think about that. 2015, it was a good year, but you know what? It's behind me. I got so much attention on my future, I can't even turn around and look what's in the past. So that's that. Measurable, specific, time-bound goals. That's good. Prioritize the goals without deadlines. I think deadlines always make people push harder. What about you guys? You think you should put deadlines on your goals? Of course, right? Create some urgency, right? Identify your excuses. That's awesome. Get accountability buddy or other system for logging your progress. Productive on iOS. It's an app that you can have. Make sure your financial habits support your goals. Declutter. That's a good way, a good tip. Come up with a health or fitness plan. That's actually awesome. I've recommitted to we're getting married. I'm getting married. I got my marriage license today, guys. Went down to the courthouse. It's getting real sandy. But dude, the health and fitness plan, we've kind of been focused on what we can do to make sure that we're looking slim and sexy for the wedding. And but like as an entrepreneur, health is really important to you. And I don't think oftentimes people put enough attention on that. I think they get too focused on work and they don't really like focus on, hey, what can I do to be healthy so that I can show up and produce at the levels that I need to. So health and fitness, awesome. Make room for fun in your life. I can have fun later. And acknowledge your victories. So that's a list of 10 things to do in 2016 so that you can hit your goals and targets. But I've just got 2 things that you need to focus on. I try to simplify things where I can. Simpler is easier, right? So 2 things that you can do to dominate in 2016, 2 things you can focus on. Number 1, you got to focus on your money. And number 2, you got to focus on your hustle, right? You got to have attention on your money. You got to have attention on your hustle. Without those 2 things, your goals are going to be hard to hit. Without money, without hustle, your fitness goals, if you don't have hustle, if you're not willing to wake up early or go to the gym late at night, dude, it ain't gonna matter too much. Money, if you got money goals, you got financial goals, you want to buy a house, you want to buy a car, you want to get out of debt, dude, you got to have money to do all that. So those are the 2 things that I'm going to focus on today and focus on developing is what you can do to get your money right, to get your hustle right, so that you got a shot to get set up for success, because now's the time that everybody has attention on goals, right? But I need to make sure that you guys stay focused every single week, week in, week out, day in, day out, hour by hour, so that you can actually hit your targets. So look, before we go to the break, I just want to drop the phone number one more time, 305-865-8668. Call in. I want to hear your goals. I want to help you put a plan in place so that you can hit your targets for 2016. I want to talk about money. I want to talk about hustle. I want to talk about your situation and find out what we can do, tweaks that we can make live on the air to make sure that that you get what you want this year. So again, when we come back from the break, I'm digging in. First thing I'm tackling is money, man. What can you do to get your money right so that you can go out and get paid? You got to get skilled up so that you can go out there and get you what you need to hit your goals. We'll be right back.
Owning a home has many elements that have to be looked after. One of the most important elements is comfort, and your heating and air conditioning is priority. That's why we stop at nothing to provide on-time service and expertise for all of your heating and cooling needs. We are the comfort experts. We have the solution for all of your trickiest heating and air conditioning needs. That's why we brought you our show, The Comfort Experts. Every week we bring you tips and tricks to improve your home and bring you peace of mind with our quality service tips for home heating and air conditioning maintenance. Visit onehouraircarolinas.com to tune into our weekly updates and services for your home improvement. That's onehouraircarolinas.com today. If you're interested in becoming an internet marketer, network marketer, internet entrepreneur, or business owner, pay attention to this offer. CPA, known as Cost Per Action, promotes offers to top companies via paid traffic platforms. Imagine positioning yourself as the dominant player in your industry all over the internet, with people seeking you out for job opportunities, your product, and your service, while increasing your income to over 6 figures in 9 months. The Millionaire Mastermind will show you how. Learn through us with step-by-step digital instructional programs, free weekly webinars, and 24/7 customer support. The Millionaire Mastermind is the go-to expert for all resources and training to thrive in this industry. And it all starts with our free 6 Figures to 9 Months webinar. Sign up for your free 6 Figures in 9 Months webinar at themillionairemastermind.com/6 figures. That's themillionairemastermind.com/6 figures. Are you looking for ways to raise funds to increase your local impact? If you're a nonprofit, church, civic group, school, or individual, Funds to Org's Shoe Drive fundraiser helps your cause raise funds while supporting micro enterprises in developing nations. Funds to Org's provides at no charge the tools you need to create a successful no-calorie fundraising event. Just engage your supporters to collect gently worn, used, and new shoes. We'll transport the collected shoes and issue a check back to you within 48 hours of processing. Sign up now at fundstoorgs.com. That's fundstoorgs.com. Are you looking for fundstoorgs.com? Make sure you guys check them out. Check them out.
2016, money and hustle. You got to focus on money and you got to focus on your hustle if you want to hit your goals and your targets in the coming year. So look, first thing I'm going to talk about is money. You know, money's one of those things that people kind of get weird feelings about, like, is too much of it a bad thing? You know, when you get really focused on money, you know, first, before you get really focused on money, you got to know what's coming when you start focusing on money, because people around you in your space, they're going to start throwing things. They're going to start throwing stones, man. You know, because a lot of people aren't raised like that. Like, I wasn't raised to constantly be thinking about, like, how do I go and make more money? How do I find more money? I mean, I know as growing up, when I turned 16 and I needed some gas for the truck, little beater truck my dad bought for me, money was important, man. I was like, man, what can I do? I got to get some gas, man. That was when gas was like $1.10 a gallon, or 99 cents I think I paid once. So money was important, right? But then somehow, like, along the way, like, as you're growing up, people start making you feel like having money is a bad thing, right? And what you really got to look at is, like, well, why is money a bad thing? Money's a bad thing to most people because they don't have any. You don't ever hear rich people talking like money's a bad thing, because rich people understand that money does a lot for you. And people always say, you know, money won't make you happy, money won't solve all your problems, but dude, money is a facilitator. Money is a facilitator that greases the wheels for a lot of things in life, and you've got to have it, right? Especially if you share one of my goals. Like, one of my goals is I want freedom. Like waving the flag, man. I want freedom from everything. Freedom to do whatever I want to do whenever I want to do it. That's been one of my big goals for the last 5 years since I've been working for Grant. And he made it a reality because he taught me how to go out and produce. And if you have the ability to produce, you have the ability to create freedom for yourself. But the freedom is going to be represented in the form of paper, man. You got to get paid. So look, what does money do for you? Why is having money important? Number one, it facilitates things. You know, if you want to grow a business, if you want to buy a lead list, you know, I've got some sales guys in the office right now. They were like, hey man, we want to take our prospecting game to another level. We're going to invest in a program where we can go out and we could pull lists of whoever we want. We could create call lists of 2,500 people. They're like, I want that. They took the ownership of it. They were like, man, I'm going to go spend the money on that. Now, if they don't have the money to do that, they can't make the investment, right? So it facilitated them getting something that's going to help them grow their business, right? So money can facilitate a lot of things. Money also offers confidence. You know, I remember being broke. Have y'all been broke before? Y'all been broke? I mean, dude, you looking at your phone, your app, your bank account before you go out, you know, seeing things that you want to buy, you can't buy it, you know, making choices and sacrifices. You're in the grocery store, you're buying like the off brand instead of the name brand because you're like, dude, it's $1.80 cheaper. I could save some money here, dude. Money offers confidence to where you can go in and you could buy the thing and you're not worried about saving $12 on your grocery bill, right? It gives you the confidence and dude, I can go out and make decisions and be comfortable, and it's not just it's not consuming my mind all the time, okay? It can also reinforce your successes, right? So you go out, you close a deal, you sell something, you make an investment, you get a return, dude. It reinforces, dude. Hey, this works. You know, I got guys in the sales office who've been here for 3 months and they're making bigger checks than they've ever made in their life, right? There are people that come here that work here for longer than that don't ever make that kind of money. And so when you see people that go out and they're successful, it reinforces it. If you have 2 hard months doing your deal, if you're like, man, when am I going to break free? And you have a good month, dude, it reinforces the confidence in what you have. You're like, dude, this is real. I can make this happen. It's like going out and playing golf, right? You have 18 holes and 85 shots that are just horrible, but you have 1 shot that's great. Dude, and you're like, man, I got to get back out on the course again, man. The perfect shot is out there. So money can also reinforce successes that you've had. And you know, the last one that I had here is that it's a path to your goals, man. You know, one of my goals that I've been writing down for the last probably year and a half is I want to make $165,000 a month because I want to have $100 million in working capital investments, right? So I want to have money invested that's paying me, passive money, because that represents freedom. You get $100 million put away that's paying you money. You have some freedom there, right? You get $10 million a year, coming in, and you don't have to do really a lot to create it. That's kind of free, right? So look, it can lead you towards a path to your goals, right? So now it's like, okay, what do I got to do to get money? Okay, well, if you're in a position that's based on production, it's really easy. If you're in a position that isn't based on production, you're going to have to think a little outside of the box within your position, because a lot of people that are salaried, they're like, hey, how do I increase my income? I don't get paid sales commissions. Well, you can do great at your job in advance, right? That's a form of commission, getting a raise, getting a promotion to a different position. So like, even if your efforts don't always produce a commission in paper, it goes into a bank, right? And if you're working in a big corporate company, like those deposits into that investment account, right, they add up and you get promoted. So there's a lot of different ways that money can lead you toward your goals. But first thing you got to have is you got to have a target. We talked about targets at the very beginning. They mentioned it in this list. You got to have a target. It's got to be measurable. It's got to be specific. So when somebody says, hey, how much money do you want to have? And you say, oh, a few $1,000,000, dude, you got to get something burnt in your mind, dude. You got to get a number that like you get like fixated and obsessed with, so that it's the only thing that you think about. Right? But again, if you get obsessed with money, people are going to start thinking and saying and doing things that you may not necessarily, they may not support what you're doing, right? They call them, Grant actually covered this. I'm going to give out a little secret from his book, the difference between a hater and a naysayer, right? So you have some naysayers around you, and I'm not going to go into all the specifics, but you're going to have naysayers around you that might tell you that might be a bad idea. People that love you, that care about you, people who you respect, people who you trust. So number one, you got to have a target. Number two, you've got to figure out the math. You got to figure out the math. Like, what do I got to do to get there? So for me, right under my income target, I have how many deals it's going to take to get there. In my office, I've got a deal counter where every day I look, I've got on a sheet of paper, I write out how many deals we have compared to how many deals we need for me to hit my target. I'm thinking about it all the time, every single day. I'm fixated on it. So the next thing you got to do is you got to figure out what's in the way. Now, for some people, like if you're a sales guy and you have money targets that you're not hitting, dude, one thing in the way could be your commitment. It could be your ability. It could be your attitude. It could be the time you're willing to commit to work, right? It could be a lot of things, but you need to figure out what's in the way. And then number four, you need to figure out what skills you need to get there. And when I get back, we're going to talk about a few more skills, and we're going to talk about that hustle.
If you want every aspect of your company to turn into salespeople and get people to understand how to skill up, you need Cardone University.
So I came in, bought your package. Talk about 10Xing. Man, my staff, we have doubled our numbers.
Ever since I started on Cardone University, it has turned my entire life around.
But what happened with me when I signed up to this program, it got me to Salesman of the Year in my company within about 8 months. It got me promoted to a sales manager.
How much are you taking home monthly?
About 10 grand a month.
I'm glad to say that because of Cardone University, the closing and objection handling skills that they've helped me develop, I grossed about $44,000. I don't have average months anymore.
Justin Tupper here. I just want to thank you for putting your ridiculous holiday sale offer together. I'm only 30 videos in, and I honestly feel like I stole something for getting this much value.
Our sales, we're up 240% year over year.
Cardone University offers so much more than traditional sales training. It pretty much blows everything else out of the water.
Hey, in a recent survey of over 250 entrepreneurs, 100% said they could have made more money last year than they made. 47% of those said they could have made more than $50,000 more money. Look, CardoneUniversity.com is for you, and I guarantee it'll work for you. I want to become your personal coach next year and make sure you grab every sale. If you're sick and tired of being sick and tired of just getting enough, sign up now. I promise you, you won't regret it.
Companies pay $30,000 per year for this #1 sales training university, and Grant Cardone is making this available for you for only $9.95. Everything that's included is all you need to be a sales pro. Get the selling basics, the entire sales process, closing strategies, follow-up, internet response, 100 ways to stay motivated, the quick fix solutions, how to understand the buyer, the theory of closing, incoming calls, prospecting, follow-up tool, top traits of great salespeople, and inspirations from Grant. A $13,200 value is now available for only $9.95. When you invest now, the deal of the year just got better, with Grant including his new cold calling content, and you'll be the first to receive it. And this offer is so good it can be deducted as an educational expense. Take time out of the equation and act now. The offer expires soon. Go to CardoneUniversity.com/holiday. That's CardoneUniversity.com/holiday to sign up now.
We're just constantly creating, man. We're sitting here, we're talking about what we can do in 2016 to make Young Hustlers the show that actually facilitates you making the change or the turnaround to get you to a whole new level. I think we just came up with a brilliant idea, but I ain't going to tell you guys yet, man. I ain't going to tell you guys yet. So we're talking about money and hustle, two things that are important. If you're a millennial, dude, you have to focus on money. And number two, you got to be willing to freaking bust your ass getting there. You got to be willing to hustle, right? So that's really the second part of the equation here. We talked in the first segment about money and how you need it to facilitate your things, and you got to have specific money targets. You've got to have a plan to get there. You've got to understand what's in the way from getting you there. If it's people, if it's skills, if it's a job, if it's where you live, okay, you got to find out what's in the way, and then you have to add skill, right? Like a lot of people took us up. We had thousands of people that took us up on our CardoneUniversity.com special that we have right now. I'm telling you, we talked about it last week. We're talking about it again this week. We're going to continue talking about it because there's no way for you to know what the program is going to do for you if you don't own it. There's just no way. If you don't have it, there's no way for you to know what it's going to do for you. So I understand why there may have been hesitation for you to jump all over it, right? It's like anything. It's the unknown. You don't know about it. So we have to keep reminding you of it. And part of that is going to be sharing the success stories because they start pouring in. When you start getting that many people using one thing and having success with it, every morning in this office, we're talking about the people that are winning with it. People that are like within days getting 2-3 times their return. 2 days on a 12-year program. Okay, so the last piece is what skills do you need? Dude, you got to skill up. You got to be able to go out and get what you want in the marketplace. You got to be able to set a target, make the calls, prospect, right? Make the calls, get through the gatekeeper, have a tight pitch, right? State your intention early in the call, get the right person on the phone, present them your deal, your product, your service, whatever. You got to negotiate the deal after you've presented your proposal. You got to be able to ask for the money. You have to be able to follow up if they say no until they buy or die, right? You've got to be able to prospect in other ways than cold calling. You've got to be able to stay motivated. You have to find ways that you can be more successful as a person, and we put it all together. It's like if you wanted Grant to be with you every single day, we've got a way to do it. It's called CardoneU.com. Right now, it's still 93% off, so it's $995. And for me, dude, I want to make $2-3 million a year. Actually, it's $165,000 a month. That's what I've been writing down. Okay, I know that's what I want to do, so I know that I got to bone up on my skill to get there. And I'm willing to invest. I'm willing to spend money to get there. So write down that target, find out what it is for you, and then find out how much money you're willing to invest, how much money you're willing to waste on your development to get to that number, and you'll start thinking of it differently. Number 2, the hustle, man. The hustle. This is the thing that everybody's telling you you don't have, right? Every day I'm hustling, right? Dude, this is what all the news outlets, the media, the baby boomers, the Generation X, whatever. All these people are telling you, dude, you ain't got the hustle, right? That's why we created this show, because I got sick and tired of reading news articles and seeing interviews and watching all these big major companies talk about the millennials being lost. The millennials, we got to count them out. They're a generation that's going to have it worse than the previous. And I was like, dude, that's bull, man. I got so much hustle, and I know that there are so many more out there that, man, we need to create an outlet for it so we can bring young hustlers to one spot and show people the kind of power we got. You feel me? All right, I want to jump on John from Las Vegas. John from Vegas, what's going on, brother?
Hey, what's up, Jarrod? And it's Josh, J-O-S.
John or Josh?
Josh, J-O-S. My dad was a hippie, so I gotta live with that. So.
Yeah, no worry about it, man. John, what's going on, man? What's your question?
Hey, how's it going? Nothing. I'm just on the show just to say that I love you guys. Really an inspiration for me. But my biggest question is, how do you know if, like, when you're spending money, if it's really working? You know, like, I'm in network marketing. I use a lot of my money to, you know, pay for promotion, pay for my events, pay for what's it called? You know, things for my team, like 10X. I bought a lot of 10X books.
Yep.
But how do I know if the stuff that I'm doing is actually working in favor for me and for my team, most importantly?
Well, like, first and foremost, what I would say is what I said before. You got to be willing to waste money to get to your targets. Like, you got to, as long as you're not spending money on things that aren't productive, like, I would never spend money, especially like when I was in my spot where I was broke and I was trying to get, like, dude, I didn't buy shoes, I didn't buy clothes, I didn't care that I was wearing some tired ass outfits. Same thing every time, wearing holes in my elbows on my shirts, wearing holes in my pants where the wallet goes. Dude, I wasn't worried about clothes at that time. I was in an office on a phone, selling over the phone. Dude, I just wasn't worried about it. I wasn't worried on spending money on things that weren't going to directly contribute to me increasing my income, because that was my focus. For you, what I would say is, like, with all the stuff that you're doing in promotion, invest in skill development before you invest in promotion. I think that this is kind of a thing that a lot of people overlook, is they think that the easy way, I mean, the easy thing to do in your mind would be like, well, if I can spend $1,000 on building my skill, or I can spend $1,000 to promote to try to grow my business, it seems like the easier thing to do. And I mean, we have industries that we work with where they'll spend $50, $70, $100, $200,000 a month on advertising, and they spend nothing on training. And so what happens is the customers come in, they have a bad experience, they don't make any money, they lose the deal, and there's so much waste that you can't even quantify it, right? Okay, but then you got the same deal who will spend a third on marketing and promotion, and they'll spend 10% of what they invest in marketing on training and development, and they make more money and they have higher sales, because they got better people. So what I would say for you is first invest on skill, whether that's the development on your skill, the development of your team's skill. Like you're in a multi-level marketing company. I'd probably spend more on bringing people in, first on you, then on getting people on your team that freaking love the product, right? Sell them the product, right? Sell them the product before the business. That's how you can build a viable a deal in multi-level marketing. Build a business that's based off of the success that the product has delivered for people, right? And then create some evangelists, because I got guys in there that can do more on a phone in one day than us spending a bunch of money on Facebook ads or whatever, you know?
Yeah, I mean, it's great because I'm exactly in that position. You know, everyone that takes my product loves it. I've had one person cancel in the 2 years that I've been part of this company, so I'm right there with you, creating evangelists and developing the skills. I mean, we just invested in Cardone University. It's great.
Love that.
And, 10X and all that stuff, so really appreciate it. Also, let me do a little plug. Hashtag let Josh, J-O-S, help you poop. Again,
let Josh help you poop?
Josh, J-O-S.
John.
Let Josh help you poop. Follow me on Twitter, @JoshJustBoston. And if you guys need to get healthier for the new year, just let me know.
Dude, poop, man. I love it. We'll talk to you, man. Thanks for calling in. Was his name John or Josh? Jom? J-O-M? Pam. Pam. Oh, it's like a silent L. It's like calm. Thanks for calling in, man. I appreciate you calling in from Vegas. Let's go to Travis from Vero Beach. Travis, what's going on?
What's going on, brother?
Hey, turn your computer down.
Yes, sure did.
There you go, brother. What's going on, man? You got big goals for 2016?
I do.
What's the stupidest, most ridiculous goal that you got for 2016?
Well, I don't consider any goals stupid or ridiculous, but as far as the target, I just got into the new career selling health insurance, and I'm only looking at probably like 60 grand now. So my goal for this year is actually 200K. For me to reach that, I got to sell 4 apps a week. And so that's my new goal, but.
Love that, man. I love that. You going to stay up? Is 200 grand a year going to keep you up at night?
Well, that's my first.
That's what I'm saying. You come up with a stupid goal, man. 10x that thing. Say I want to make $2 million this year. We just set some stupid. We just set some stupid, ridiculous targets for our company, man. And just thinking about them gets me so excited, man. It gets me excited. I don't even want to go to bed at night because I'm like, man, if we can find a way to make this work. What's your question? What's your question, brother?
Actually, I'm new into the sales, kind of. I owned a tree company before, just a little back history, so I'm not that involved in sales, but I'm getting involved in sales. I've been studying and trying to figure out different ways. There's always just something missing. And I found you guys, in one day, changed my whole script. Actually watching the free YouTube videos.
Love it.
Changed my whole script, changed everything. And sold 5 apps. I was selling 1 app a week. I sold 5 apps that week. I've sold 3 apps the week after that. Last week I hit 4 apps. So, I'm in the right path now, still learning. I actually told my company about you guys, and they actually bought the university for me. And so I've been studying on that for 3 weeks now.
Dude.
So just rocking and rolling, and just want to say thanks, man.
I love that, man. Hey, seriously, man, congratulations on getting hooked up with that. Thank you for calling in and sharing your success. Dude, here's a guy, goes out, he's devouring free content because he's got a big target. He convinces his company to come in to invest in his development. They do that. He's been on for 3 weeks, dude. He's been crushing it. Went from 1 app a week to 5 apps. Come on, man. Come on, it works, man. Spend money, invest in yourself, dude. It's the one thing that is timeless. It doesn't go away. No matter where you go, it'll always go with you. Dude, but you got to get your money right and you got to get your hustle right. So, dude, we're talking about hustle now. Like, what can you do to crank your hustle up? Because a lot of people around, man, you look, man, they're sleeping. You know what that represents? Bing! Opportunity. Opportunity represents itself every single day when you see people operating with this lack of urgency, kind of moving slow, just kind of like, oh yeah, whatever, things are going to be good this year. I had a pretty good year last year. Hopefully things are going to be good again. Dude, one thing that I've learned from Grant, dude, you got to operate with speed, man. You got to take time out of the equation. You got to squeeze everything possible out of every second of every minute, of every hour, of every single day. And it's a muscle, and you're gonna feel like a freakazoid when you start doing it, man. You're gonna like moving around, like running around the office. I was walking down the office, and I move fast when I'm in the office, right? Walk around, we got this big guy, his name's Dave. You guys know Dave. Dave's a monster. He's like 6'5", running around the office, head down, looking at my phone, bam, right into this big guy. I ain't even paying attention, so I start running into stuff. Because I got my hustle, man. I'm focused on the hustle. So, dude, look, you need to inventory your time, okay? You need to inventory your time. You need to figure out how much time you have awake every day, right? What time do you wake up in the morning? What time do you go to bed at night? You got to be aware of it first, right? Just same thing with money. If you want to hit money targets, you have to be aware of how much money you have and how much money you want and how you're going to get there. Time is the same thing. How much time do I have available? How much time do I use every day? And how much time do I need? Do the math. How much time do I need to hit my targets, right? So number one, you got to inventory your time. Number two, you absolutely must write and follow a schedule. You have to do this. If it's not down on paper, then it's meaningless. If it's in your head, oh yeah, I wake up about this time, I get shower about this time, I eat breakfast or go to the gym or whatever your morning deal is, dude, you must write your schedule down. I've got one. You walk into my house right now, I've got a schedule on the refrigerator. I hate putting stuff on the refrigerator. I think it's tacky. I don't think it looks good. I got this big, beautiful stainless steel refrigerator, and I got a piece of tape with a notepad paper on it right there with my schedule for every single day written out on it because it's important to me. Like, I want to know that I'm maximizing every minute of every hour of every day. And if you want to take your hustle to another level and you want to maximize every day, dude, you got to map that thing out. You got to get clear on it, man. You got to get clear on it. You got to get reminded about it every single day. In the office, when I was selling, dude, I had my day segmented out into like I'm following up clients here. I'm going on LinkedIn for 15 minutes here. I'm cold calling clients from here to here, blocking everything out, and then setting targets within each of those blocks. I'm going to call 25 existing clients here. I'm going to reach out to 150 cold clients here. After that, I'm going to send emails out to all the cold call. I had every day blocked out, right? You guys want to know how to hit your goals and targets? 5 years ago, I'd never thought I'd be where I was today. But I started putting these little disciplines in place. Started writing my goals down every day. Started getting focused on my money, getting my money right, like being a freaking man, right? Knowing that someday I'm going to need to be a husband to somebody who's going to want me to be responsible for the household, and creating security and creating an environment that's good to be in, right? I knew that was going to happen down the road, and I knew that I had to make sacrifices early on. So, dude, if you're kind of lost right now, or you feel like you're just not hitting, you just got to get clear on who you want to be and where you want to go. And then every single day, you got to get like laser focused on what you can do to get closer every single day. It's as impatient as you need to be about getting there, it's not going to happen overnight. It's frustrating, and you'll want to quit because you're not seeing progress and results. But just know that every day, if you wake up and you do the same thing, you inventory your time, you've got a calendar, you've got a schedule, you put in the work, the right actions will lead to the success that you want if you take them in the right amounts, right? But you just have to be aware of it, right? You have to be aware of it. You have to understand like all the details. Don't leave your success up to chance. I want my success to be predictable. What about you guys? Y'all want your shit to be predictable? Dude, me too. I want to know like if I do this, and this every single day, dude, I'm going to hit my target. And if I know I'm going to hit my target, I'm going to do everything, and I'm going to have discipline, and I'm going to execute every step along the way. Because I got confidence that all those actions will result in me hitting my target. And if you get your hustle right, that's a key ingredient, right? The level of activity that you take. So you got to write and follow a schedule, and you got to understand the math of how your time gets you closer to your goals. So like one of the things that I did was when I first started with Grant, and I don't know if many people know this story, but like when I was first started, I really didn't have a lot of direction, because that's what Grant does. He gets the best out of people by making them figure it out. Like, how much heart do you have? How much natural ability do you have to come in and figure something out? I'm going to tell you a little here, a little there, a little there. Can you duplicate all that? Can you push? Can you do the work that's required? So I got to the point where I wasn't seeing a lot of success. Dude, I was ready to quit. Like 90 days in, I was like, this ain't working. And I looked at what I was doing. I was showing up at 8 in the morning. We worked from 8 to 5. Showing up at 8 in the morning, right on time, walk in, start making calls. 5 o'clock would come. I'd leave, I'd go home, maybe listen to an audio program, read one of his books again, and then watch TV, hang out with my friends, smoke a bunch of pot. Like I wasn't in it, right? And then after 90 days, I was like, is this it? Like, am I going to come up here? Am I going to fail with this? Like, you go through all those uncertainties that everybody goes through. Everybody has uncertainty. Everybody loses confidence. But I just looked at it. I was like, what do I want? Like, what? So I started writing my goals down every day. I started getting focused on really, really, really what I wanted. And then I was like, if there's a chance of me hitting that, my current productivity will not get me there. So what do I need to do? I did the math. What does the math say? Dude, you need to do more than 8 to 5. You need to find more hours in the day. So I went from 8 to 5 to 6 to 8. I picked up 3 hours on both ends. 5 hours total. 5 hours per day, 5 hours a week. That's 25 hours a week. That's 100 hours a month. That's like 2 work weeks, 2.5 work weeks for the normal person, I found by just looking at my days. So you got to figure out like how committed you are, because that is hard. 6 to 8 is hard. Waking up at 6 o'clock in the morning so I could sell to people on the East Coast, right? And then sticking around until the buzzer went off on Fridays, right? And then coming in on Saturdays, dude, that was another thing. I came in on Saturdays. I thought the weekend was for me. The weekend is for your goals, man. And you got to be willing to do the work on the weekends to hit your targets. So, dude, look, the equation is here. I'm not special. I'm not here to be right or wrong. I'm not here to preach. I'm telling you exactly what I did. I got 4 guys in there that made more money than they've ever made in their life. Ever. They're not geniuses. They're not any better than you, any different than you. They didn't have Grant coaching them every single day like some of you think. Oh, I'm just going to go work for Grant and everything's going to happen, right? Dude, all we used were the tools that we had available, the YouTube videos, the university. And then we started looking at the successful actions, the disciplines, the roadmap. We didn't recreate anything. I got a new guy that just started. He hit bonus in 3 months. When he started, he said, show me the plan. I don't care what it is. I'm going to duplicate it. And I said, all right, dude, you got to come in early. You got to stay late. You got to study, you know, on the weekends. You got to maximize every second of every minute of every day. You got to be focused. You got 5 kids, bro. You need this to work in a big way. So we just laid out the plan for him. And he's going through, he's duplicating it, and it's working. 3 months in, bam, bonus. I didn't hit I would have had to quit under the pay plan we got right now. I wouldn't have made it. But now we've gotten the groove in place, right? So I don't know if you have somebody in your space that can lay the track for you. But what we can do on this show, on Young Hustlers, on Grant Cardone TV, is we can help you understand what we did to be successful along the way so that you can just take it and apply it to your own life. And dude, you just starting with investing yourself. I love John's question. He called in, how do I know if the investment I'm making is working? If you're making it yourself, I promise you, waste money on yourself. Waste money investing in your development. Waste money on your education. Waste money on seminars and conferences and things that are going to make you a better person, a more developed person, more skilled, and you will that will give you more return on any investment in promo or marketing that you can ever make. So look, you can dominate 2016. You can hit your targets, but you got to focus on money because that's going to be a big part of it, and you got to focus on your hustle. Some of you may need to focus on the hustle before you can focus on the money. Sometimes the hustle is the gateway to money, all right? So look, I hope you enjoyed the show today. CardoneU.com, CardoneU.com. If you want to take us up on that $995 offer to invest in your financial freedom, it's a $13,000 program, cold calling, follow-up, negotiating, sales. I mean, literally everything you need to know to go out and get what you want, hit your targets in 2016, and make 2016 the year that gets you one more step closer to your goals. And remember, the only people who condemn the hustle are the ones who have already given up on the hustle themselves. We'll see you next week.
Today's episode was brought to you by the Comfort Experts. See us for all your heating and air conditioning needs. For more information, visit OneHourAirCarolinas.com. That's OneHourAirCarolinas.com.